Albania is a small country in the Balkans that has been inhabited by humans since the Neolithic era. Over the centuries, it has been home to many different civilizations, including the ancient Illyrians, Romans, Byzantines, Ottomans, and more recently, the Communists. Today, Albania is an independent nation with its own unique culture and history. But what is it about this tiny Balkan country that makes it so special? And what are some of the things that have made Albania the way it is today? Let's find out. Ancient origins. The earliest evidence of human habitation in Albania dates back to the 5th millennium BC during the Neolithic period. Archaeological sites such as the ones at Kune, Trun, and Bulkiza have revealed remnants of early human settlements, indicating that Albania has been a continuous home to human life for over 7,000 years. However, these early inhabitants were not the first to inhabit the region, as recent studies have shown. Scientists believe that, before the Neolithic era, small groups of hunter-gatherers from the eastern Mediterranean would visit Albania during the spring and summer seasons. These visits occurred during the 8th and 7th millennia BC, were likely motivated by the abundance of wild cattle in the area. During the Bronze Age, around 2000 BC, the region was inhabited by the Illyrian tribes. The Illyrians were a collection of several tribes who spoke Indo-European languages related to ancient Greek. They lived in the Balkans, which today includes parts of Italy, Croatia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Montenegro, Kosovo, Serbia, and Greece. These seafaring people were known for their skills in navigation and trade. In fact, they played a significant role in the development of the Mediterranean seafaring culture. This cultural group flourished due to extensive maritime trade networks. Particularly in the Adriatic Sea, their influence can be seen in the ancient city of Himera, located in southern Albania, which served as a vital trading hub between the eastern Mediterranean and central Italy. In the 7th century BC, the Greek poet Stasnus mentioned the Illyrians in his work, describing them as a powerful tribe living across the Ceremonian Mountains, which is now the border between Albania and Greece. The Illyrians also had a profound impact on the ancient Greeks through their military prowess. Some Illyrian tribes, like the Ardai, were renowned as mercenaries, providing military services to the Greeks. For instance, the Ardai were hired to protect the Oracle of Delphi, a sacred site in Greece, from potential invaders. The arrival of the Greeks and the rise of city-states. Around the 6th century BC, Greek colonists from the region of Epirus established a number of settlements along Albania's Adriatic coast. One of the most notable was the city of Epidamnus, now known as Vlorë, which became a significant trading center. Epidamnus was strategically situated near the Strait of Otranto, an important maritime route connecting the Ionian Sea to the Adriatic. The city's strategic location made it a key player in Mediterranean trade networks. Its prosperity grew due to the exchange of goods such as wine, olive oil, textiles, and metals with other Mediterranean civilizations. Another Greek colony was Apollonia, which was founded in the mid-6th century BC by the Corinthians and Epidamnians. The city's strategic position on the Via Egnatia, a Roman road that connected the Adriatic coast to the rest of the empire, contributed to its growth and prosperity. During the Hellenistic period, the kingdom of Epirus, centered in the region of Epirus, extended its influence over parts of Albania. Pyrrhus, the king of Epirus, launched campaigns into Italy in the 3rd century BC, where he achieved notable victories against the Romans. Although he ultimately withdrew due to heavy losses, his campaigns left a lasting impact on military tactics and strategy. Roman rule and the arrival of Christianity. By the 2nd century BC, Rome's influence began to grow in the region. In 146 BC, Rome defeated the last independent Greek kingdom in the region, the Kingdom of Epirus, and incorporated it into the Roman province of Macedonia. Throughout the Roman period, cities such as Durs and Skudar, now known as Shkodër, became important centers of trade and administration. The Roman Emperor Trajan completed the conquest of Dacia, which included parts of present-day Romania, and extended Rome's influence into the Black Sea region. This expansion brought wealth and prosperity to the region. Roman roads, aqueducts, and public buildings were constructed, enhancing infrastructure and urban development. However, towards the end of the 3rd century AD, the Roman Empire faced a series of crises, including economic instability, political upheaval, and external threats. Diocletian, who came to power in 284 AD, implemented reforms to stabilize the empire, including the construction of new fortifications to protect the frontiers. His objective was to safeguard the empire's borders, while reducing the administrative burden on the central government. He divided the empire into eastern and western halves, with separate capitals, and established 4 prefectures. One of these prefectures was Dalmatia, which included parts of present-day Croatia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, and to a lesser extent Albania. The capital of the prefecture was in Salona, located near modern-day Split in Croatia. Meanwhile, Christianity gradually spread throughout the Roman province of Illyricum, which encompassed much of the Balkans, including parts of Albania. St. Paul's missionary journeys played a significant role in introducing Christianity to the region. However, it was until the reign of Emperor Constantine the Great in the 4th century AD that Christianity was officially legalized and eventually became the dominant religion in the Roman Empire. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 AD, the lands of former Illyricum found themselves under the rule of various Germanic tribes, including the Lombards, Gepids, and Goths. However, the Eastern Roman or Byzantine Empire continued to hold on to parts of the region. It's Byzantine and Ottoman rule. As the Byzantine Empire persisted, the area that corresponds to modern Albania became part of the Byzantine province of Illyricum. During this time, Slavic tribes migrated into the Balkans, settling in the region that is now southern Serbia, Montenegro, and northern Albania. Despite the changing ethnic composition, the Byzantines retained control over the area. Cities like Durs remained significant centers of trade and administration. However, in the 15th century, the Ottoman Empire began its westward expansion into the Balkans, posing a growing threat to Byzantine rule. The Ottomans' military strength and territorial ambitions led to conflicts with the Byzantines. By the late 15th century, the Ottoman forces had advanced into the Balkans and conquered most of Byzantine territory. The region that is now Albania fell under Ottoman rule, marking the end of Byzantine influence in the area. During the Ottoman period, Albania was incorporated into the wider Ottoman Empire, which at its peak stretched from North Africa to the Middle East and southeastern Europe. The Ottoman administration viewed Albania as a frontier region, strategically important for defense against potential threats from Europe. As a result, the Ottomans implemented measures to strengthen the military presence in the area. They built fortresses, recruited local Albanian soldiers into the Ottoman army, and encouraged settlement by Muslim Albanians from Kosovo and other parts of the empire. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the region experienced a process known as Islamization, influenced by the Ottomans' religious policies and the conversion of some Albanian leaders. This led to the adoption of Islam by a portion of the population, contributing to the current demographic mix of religious communities in Albania. Nevertheless, Christianity continued to be practiced widely throughout Albania during this period. The emergence of Albanian national consciousness. The 19th century witnessed the emergence of Albanian national consciousness and the beginnings of a cultural revival. This awakening was partly inspired by the broader European context, where various national movements were gaining momentum. Key figures in this movement included figures like Naim Froshori, who played a crucial role in promoting Albanian language and literature. The compilation of the first Albanian reader in 1837 was a pivotal moment, laying the foundation for the standardization of the Albanian language and fostering a sense of shared identity among Albanians. By the mid-19th century, the idea of a unified Albania free from Ottoman rule started to gain traction among educated Albanians. Societies and organizations were formed to advocate for Albanian rights and autonomy within the Ottoman Empire. As the 19th century progressed, calls for an independent Albania grew louder. The Congress of Berlin in 1878, which aimed to address the situation in the Ottoman Empire, saw demands for an Albanian national movement, world wars and post-World War II Albania. During World War I, the region was affected by the conflict between the Central Powers and the Triple Entente. Albania declared its independence on April 4, 1912, just days before the start of World War I. Initially, the country faced recognition and support from neighboring powers, but by 1914, it had gained international acknowledgement. Unfortunately, World War I brought significant challenges to Albania. The conflict caused widespread destruction, economic hardship, and a refugee crisis. The country's political instability contributed to the difficulties. Following the war, the victorious Allied powers, including Britain and France, divided Albania among themselves. This occupation disrupted the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. After World War II, Albania became a communist country, led by the Party of Labor, led by Enver Hoxha. It maintained close ties with the Soviet Union until the 1960s, when relations deteriorated. After the Sino-Soviet split, Albania aligned itself with China and became one of the most isolated countries in the world. Albania pursued a policy of self-reliance and non-alignment during the Cold War. It rejected membership in both NATO and the Warsaw Pact, and pursued a policy of neutrality. In 1991, after the collapse of communism in Eastern Europe, Albania transitioned to a democratic system. The country adopted a new constitution in 1998 and has since become a candidate for European Union membership. Albania's journey from communism to democracy has been marked by significant changes in its political, economic, and social spheres. The shift towards democracy has brought about challenges such as high unemployment, corruption, and organized crime. However, Albania has made progress in addressing these issues and continues to move forward in its path towards European integration. Today, Albania is a parliamentary democracy with a multi-party system. It has a president as the head of state and a prime minister as the head of government. The country's legal system has been reformed to align with European standards. Furthermore, Albania has taken steps to combat corruption and organized crime, although these remain challenges. Economically, post-communist Albania has undergone significant transformations. The country has privatized many state-owned enterprises, liberalized its financial sector, and attracted foreign investment. Agriculture remains an important sector. With crops such as wheat, corn, and olives being cultivated, industry plays a role, with manufacturing and mining contributing to the economy. Tourism has also emerged as a growing industry in Albania. The country's natural beauty, historical sites, and Mediterranean coastline attract visitors from around the world. Albania's transition to democracy and its efforts to join the European Union reflect its commitment to integration with Western institutions. The country has implemented reforms to meet the EU's accession criteria, including those related to judiciary, public administration, and the rule of law. While Albania has come a long way since the end of communism, challenges persist. Issues such as poverty, infrastructure development, and environmental protection continue to require attention. Moreover, the country's geographic location at the crossroads of the Balkans and the Mediterranean has shaped its identity and influenced its history. Its strategic position has made it a target of larger empires and powers seeking to control the region. Albania's diverse cultural heritage reflects its position as a crossroads of civilizations. The country's cuisine, music, and traditions bear witness to the influences of its neighbors, including Greece, Serbia, and Turkey. And that concludes our look at Albania's fascinating history and how it has evolved through the ages. What did you think about the video? Do you learn anything new? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it. Got plenty more to watch. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.